Hello, this is Caleb with Garvin Sewer Service at 9185 Grandview Avenue. So we're operating from this clean out. This is on the north side of the house. This is about eye level. There's a clean out right there. So we do have two clean out stacks in the house, one on the north side, one on the south side. The south side both drains leave on the east side of the house. There is a clean out, a two-way outside clean out on the south stack that goes up to the house and then out to the street from the south stack, but there's, it sweeps to the street, so there's no way to clean the 40-foot section from here to the clean out without cleaning it from here. You cannot get your line and cable or a camera to go upstream from there due to the sweep. Even if you did, you get very stuck and it'd be a hard time. So this is the only place we can clean the 40-foot section to where it meets the south stack in the yard. So I've already done a series of locations outside, and as we see the problems, I'll let you know how deep they are and where they are located outside. We had a block here, but not the south bathroom, so we ran our cable through here. I was rather successful with 3-inch blades and got the roots in a good way, so I'm very surprised. But let's go ahead and start. I will zero out my distance indicator, which is on the lower left-hand side of the screen. So right now we're looking at cast iron. I do want to point out that we did have water on the floor, which is how they knew they were backing up. And I do see some moisture before I started, where the copper goes into the cast at the hub right before the clean out T. And it looks like maybe some moisture was coming down there when I was backing up. It might have had back pressure and leaked ever so often. However, when we were running all day today on diagnostics and the snaking, I never had any moisture come from anywhere. Copper above looks really good. I've checked all the fittings. There's no evidence there. There's also, so there might be moisture coming from the copper to cast iron hub. However, I do want to point out that it looked like there was existing streaks of water down the wall. And we're looking at the cast right now from inside, and the cast looks to be in good shape. A little bit of discarded roots on the left side. We'll just go ahead and flush that out. But the cast is in good shape. So the water coming is not from a broken drain. It's either coming from A, the copper to cast hub, which would need to get replaced, or B, is coming from rainwater and moisture from outside around the drain through the wall. I don't know which one it is. It could be both. However, like I said, running water as much as I did today, not have any water coming down in the basement from any location. So we're going to check out this cast iron. This cast iron looks to be in really good shape. There's no evidence of rot, minimal scale, which is magnesium, calcium buildup. So the cast is in good shape. Right around here, we turn to cast to clay. So this is clay drains we're looking at, and we're now going to see a series of root intrusions. This section was really rooted, like you couldn't get the camera through. So we were able to clean this out really effectively with 3-inch blades. We do have a dip right here that is a fairly significant but very short belly. So as long as we're cleaning this out so often to get the roots, you probably won't have a problem. But we do want to mark this. This is underneath the deck. So if this needs to be replaced or fixed at any point in time, the deck will have to get, they'll have to get some of the deck out of the way to get to it. So we'll continue on. This section of roots was all rooted up. So I'm very happy that I was able to get this out. I did mark this spot because we do two 45-degree turns. So I marked the spot past the deck. So there is the possibility, there is the situation that if we wanted outside risers on this north sewer line, that we could do that without having to rip up the deck. Ideally, we would love to fix that belly at the same time, but there's a deck in the way. So we do 45 and then 45 again. And you can see there's a lot of roots there, but I was able to get them really well. And then I did locate this section right here just for location purposes. This is running underneath the neighbor's chain link fence. So that is marked with, both those spots that I've mentioned are marked with flags. We do have a little bit of standing water right here, but it will get alleviated in just a second. Not much to be concerned about, but there are some leveling issues with this line. and most of that's due to offsets, which we'll touch on in just a bit. So, continuing on, I did snake all the way 120 feet, so I did get out to the city from my location today. This section was also really rooted up, and I was happy to get this one taken care of as well. Alright, so right here, we do have, to our right, is our other sewer line on the south stack that goes out of the yard. It joins right here. So from the outside access from this point on, you can service from the outside access on the other stack. When I snaked it, it continued onto the street, but that is, you know, if you had your south bathroom backing up, with or without the north bathroom backing up too, the outside access is the best place to do the snaking. If you have only the north bathroom backing up like it was today, then operating from the eye level clean out in the basement is the way to go. So the roots on the top of the line are very hard to get. They're cut down pretty significantly, so that's good. But if there's, you know, if people see those roots on the top and think, oh no, they're still there, that's going to be how they look. So do we have some standing water here? And I believe, yes, right here. So I did a series of locates outside towards the sidewalk as well as the street. And there's offsets there. They're marked between 3.5 feet up to 4 foot 10 inches. And I marked them with paint, and I'll upload them to the job. See a little bit of leveling issues there. Not too much to be concerned about, but that it's just something that we want to note. I do want to point out, this looks like it's plastic. It looks like maybe out in the street they started doing some repairs at one point. However, we do want to point out that there are some offsets. So there's an offset that's causing this belly. We're about to see it in just a second. We'll go in water and then we'll see how we kind of pop back out. Offsets make it harder to get the roots. I still am going to inspect the other clean out too. If I see a lot of roots, I'm going to recommend cleaning the line from out there. To get that section that we couldn't get from this clean out, but I can also upgrade the blade size and maybe get that section right there. Even though it's cut pretty good, maybe want to do it better. Again, the offsets make it more difficult. So that section was one of the spots marked outside by the sidewalk, and then right here is in the street. This also looks like it's plastic, so I wonder if at any point they did some repairs in the past, or if it's just kind of fooling me. So there's that offset that dips down, and then this offset was trying to go up, but my camera cannot go up because it's hitting the bottom of the next pipe. I do know that within a foot or two we drop into the city because of where the location is of the manhole city cover down the way, so it goes down the street on the side of the house that this house sits on, and we're right there. So the city connection has got to be right past this. My distance here is 102 feet, so we can assume that the line is about 105 feet maximum. So at this spot is another spot that we located. So there's 3 spots that you can see on my pictures where I said there was offsets from the sidewalk out to the street. Something to note in the future, if they ever want to get serviced or get that section fixed, it will entail having to pull a permit and get traffic involved. So with the roots there though, I think if you're cleaning this once a year from really either clean out, then the section that the offsets are on will also get cleaned. Hopefully you won't have a backup. If there's any other questions, give Grandview Sewer Services a call. The invoice summary will have a text version of this video on there. Otherwise, my name is Caleb. Thank you much for your time.